Well, hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be out working in the garden and I thought that I would bring you guys along. There is a lot of maintenance things that need doing and there's a lot of stuff that I just want to get ready for fall, get ready for the end of the season, and I'm thinking that I want to plant some carrots for a fall harvest. They are the best, so if I have time today too, I'm going to be I'm going to be putting in some carrot seeds, but I have a few things that need to come out of the garden. So I'm going to get rid of the dill and get rid of the cucumbers, what's left of them. I think I have a couple watermelon plants that can go. I'd harvested 2 watermelons yesterday and they are not looking so good, as like a couple of the plants look like they're dying back. So I'm gonna, if there's no more watermelons on them especially, I'll have to check those and probably get some of the watermelon plants out of here. And it looks like there is a bunch of ripe pumpkins back there, and I don't want to attract any more squash bugs than is necessary, so I'm probably going to go ahead and harvest those, and whatever is left will just go to the chickens. And I also am done with green beans. I don't need any more green beans, so I think I'm just gonna pull those plants out of here as well and give them all to the chickens. There's a ton of green beans on them, so lots of food for the animals to finish up. And I have some cabbages also that have definitely needed to come out of the garden a while ago, and I noticed that a couple of them are starting to get some cracks on them, so I want to get those out ASAP. And I also wanted to harvest some of the calendula flowers this morning and get those in the dehydrator. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get all this stuff done. Lots of work to do, but yeah, it'll be fun. As you can see, the dill kind of got rained on and it is falling over. It has not gone to seed yet, but it is quite overgrown and on its way there, a lot of it. But I am not going to be canning anything else with dill, and yeah, so I'm just going to get this out of here so I don't forget and let it go to seed. And most things I'm just going to leave the root systems in the ground so that they can just decompose naturally over the winter. And so I'm just going to be using my little shears and cut these off at the base, and then we will freshen up the wood chips and all that as we need to. I definitely grew a lot more dill than I needed, but I seed pretty heavily with dill. And it smells so good in the garden. And I'm just gonna chuck all this stuff into my wheelbarrow. And as we fill up, we'll just take it over to the chickens. And they always help me get rid of all of my garden scraps. I got all the dill out, I had those 2 sections. It was quite a lot of dill, but filled up the whole wheelbarrow, and I actually pulled out a giant marigold because I have tons of marigolds, and this one just so happened to kind of tip over in the rain. These taller varieties tend to do that. They tend to fall over, and so that one did. When it rained, it fell over, and it was kind of leaning into my walking path, which was annoying to get around or have it rub on you. So I went ahead and pulled that and got that in the wheelbarrow, and that cleans up this area quite a bit. So I do have some volunteer potatoes right here, so I thought that I would dig those up. They're probably russets, and I'll just get these out of here. Some weeds, and then we'll have to go and empty our wheelbarrow. So here's our watermelon patch. Like I said, I got 2 watermelons yesterday, and we ate about half of one last night, and there's more in the fridge. Oh, they're so good. But as you can see, like this plant here is dying off. It's dying back. So I don't know if it's natural causes or if a vine borer or something like that's in the area. But I think there's one down there that might not be looking so hot too. So I'm just gonna look through, probably remove this dying one, remove any weeds that I can, and assess what we have left over here. Yeah, so there's no melon on this one anyways. Just gonna get rid of this one. This is one that I harvested one of the melons off of yesterday. So 1 plant, 1 melon. And I left the roots in there, and all the plant material that I cut out, I just give all to the chickens, and they take care of it. If they don't eat it, it at least draws in some bugs, and they come and dig in it, poop in it, and turn it into nice ground, nice compost in there in the chicken run. So all of the other plants look pretty decent, I think, but if they don't have a melon on them at this point, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut those out of there too. All the potatoes coming up that were volunteers are definitely like oddly shaped. There's a nice one. A lot of small ones. It's kind of nice to have some volunteers since I didn't plant any russet potatoes this year. That feels like all of them. Well, at least there's one really nice one. All right, and for now I'll just put them over by the other ones. If I can carry them. All right. All right, we got the dill gone, we got the watermelon all taken care of, and now I'm going to go ahead and harvest some of these cabbages. There's at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 that are ready to be harvested, some past ready to be harvested, but I'm gonna need some loppers to cut those off, so I'm gonna go grab those and then we will get these all taken care of. This first one is definitely should have been harvested a while ago. I'm just gonna go to the base and chop this off. My tools are not very sharp, but there we go. There's one big old head of cabbage. I'm gonna break all these leaves off on the outside and give them to the chickens, and that'll help to get rid of a little bit of bugs or eggs or anything that are on them. All right, so there's one cabbage that we'll bring in. I harvested 3 of the cabbages, although there's probably 3 more that I can harvest, but I don't want to harvest them all on the same day. So I'm going to take care of these ones today, and then maybe next week. They're still they're not overgrown or anything, so I think they'll be fine, or I know they'll be fine. So I'm gonna take care of these 3 this week, and then maybe next week I'll come and do the other 3 that are ready. So I don't know if there's 2 more, I think. There's 3 more after that, and I don't know if they're going to develop into much of anything, but we'll see. All right, it is starting to get hot, but I have finished the dill, the watermelon, and the cabbages, and then this whole 3rd row, I went ahead and got this row all raked up, so this is all set. There's just one real pretty marigold plant here, and then down at the end are the rest, what's left of the cabbages, so I'll leave those be for now. But this row here and most of the front row is where I had onions, and this row had onions in it too, and that's taken care of. So but these 2 had onions in, and if you look close, you can see a bunch of little holes, and that's where my onions were sitting in the wood chips. So I'm gonna just briefly, one of my water lines is kind of sticking up, so I'm gonna tuck that in, and then I'm gonna just rake those up a little bit. Just rake the wood chips. I'm not raking it into the dirt or anything like that, but I'm gonna rake that up and get that all tidy looking, make sure there's no weeds that need pulling. I'm sure there is. And just get those done, and then these rows will be all set for winter, other than I've got a calendula there and a calendula here. Love them. I'm harvesting those today, and since it's starting to get warm, it's still morning, but it is starting to get warm, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest my calendulas for the day. Go take those in and get them in the dehydrator while I finish working out here. But I'm gonna rake these up, get them all nice. Down at that end also are my jalapeno pepper plants right there, so I'm gonna keep those there. Obviously those are growing now, and I've already harvested those once, and it looks like I have more out there that I could definitely harvest. But what's here in the first 3 rows is gonna stay, but I want everything else all tidy and nice. And then in that row where we took the dill out has my banana peppers, and those are just on fire right now. They are growing tons and tons of peppers, so those are definitely staying, along with the marigolds in that row are looking nice and standing nice, so I'll keep those. The tomatoes, I have not harvested any tomatoes yet. If you guys follow the channel, and you will know, we had a rough start this year with our tomatoes, and we have a lot fewer than we normally do, but I really don't need any. I have a probably 2-year supply right now of spaghetti sauce, and I have plenty of pizza sauce. So really I was just planning on making salsa with as many tomatoes as we get. I've got 30 something tomato plants, and they have tons and tons of tomatoes, green tomatoes on the vines right now, but none are ripened yet, so we're leaving those, but I'll probably walk through and just make sure that they're looking good and healthy. the bee balm is doing wonders. I did find, if you guys are following, you'll know that I planted the bee balm there with the tomatoes to see if they would repel the pests, specifically the tomato hornworm, and also they're just supposed to make a better, bigger, more tasty harvest of tomatoes. So anyways, I have had no tomato hornworms in the tomatoes this year where the bee balm is. So I'll let you know if that changes, but as of now, no problem with them at all. I did find one hornworm in the garden though, like last week, and it was on one of my jalapeno peppers. So that is very far from the bee balm, so maybe it's working. I have not found any in the banana peppers, and those are right by the tomato aisle, so who knows? Seems to be working. I'll definitely tell you guys all about my end results here at the end of the season, I think, but for now, that's staying. And then behind that we have the row with just a whole bunch of marigolds and green beans, and we'll be tackling that as well today. So all right, calendula has been harvested and chamomile has been harvested, and they are all in the dehydrator now, so I can continue working in the vegetable garden. I'm going to go ahead and rake up these rows and put away the stakes and all that kind of extra stuff I have laying around that I've been needing to take care of. Okay, all right, we got those raked. So row 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are all set. Row 6 is the tomatoes, so those will be all set. So the row after the tomatoes is our next step. Alright, so our next task is to pull out these green beans, and I'm actually going to just cut them off so that their roots will stay in there and put the nutrients back in the ground. I have plenty of green beans, like I said, in the pantry, and these are really too overgrown, most of them, for freezing to taste good. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these off, put them in my wheelbarrow, and we'll take them over to the chickens. Somebody got into the garden and was digging back here, as you can see. So I'm gonna have to fix that, get the water lines covered up, and really, like these last two, maybe even the third row, I need to add more wood chips to. So that, I don't know if I can get done today, but we'll see. Sometime that is what I'm gonna have to do. But I'm gonna get the rest of the green beans. Here's what we have left of the cucumbers, and the majority of the cucumbers on here still are obviously well overgrown. This is a pickling cucumber, so well on its way to being a seed cucumber, but I don't need to collect seed from these, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of these cucumber vines, and there might be a couple cucumbers down in here that I could take in the house. The rest are gonna go to the chickens. All right, cucumbers are gone. I still have to rake up these rows, get them all nicely groomed and weed free. And of course, especially this row, I need to add a lot of wood chips to. And the only thing that still needs to come out right now are these pumpkins. As you can see, there's some definite ripe pumpkins in here. Most of them are ready to pick, and I really don't need that many. So ones that aren't quite ready, I can just throw into the chicken run and get these pumpkin plants out of here. They are starting to get powdery mildew, and of course they'll be attracting squash bugs and stuff. So I'm just gonna harvest what's ready now, and I think I'm running out of time here. I have other stuff I have to do for today, so I might have to come back and finish this tomorrow. But I'm gonna look in here and see what I got going on for pumpkins that are ready to harvest. Okay. All right, you can see we got a bunch of pumpkins. Most of them are pretty ripe, but let's count them real quick. Really nice sugar pumpkins. Gonna make some pumpkin puree with these. And some of them are gonna sit around probably on the front steps for a while and just look pretty. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Perfect. 30 pumpkins out of our little pumpkin patch. There was, I believe, 8 plants here. So 30 pumpkins from 8 plants. That's pretty good, I think. All right, I got my last load in the wheelbarrow. It was 2 loads this full to get them over there to the chickens, but that was probably the worst job because they are so scratchy, pokey, itchy. It's all over my legs and my arms. So yeah, I'm gonna take this over to the girls. Then I'll come back one more time with my wheelbarrow and pick up all these pumpkins and get them up to the house and take care of my tools. And I think I'm gonna call it a day out here in the garden. It is lunchtime or shortly after, and so I'm gonna go in and eat. And I need to do some baking today before my husband and kids come home. I've got clothes to go out on the clothesline and lots of things to do. So it was really fun to get out here and get some of the stuff checked off of my list. I've had, your list starts to grow and grow, and it feels so good to just start checking stuff off that's been on there for a while. So I love gardening. I love being out here in the garden, but toward the end, toward the end of the season, it starts to feel good when stuff starts emptying out of the garden. Uh, so we still have, as far as veggies go, we still have our green peppers right here. And then that is just some marigolds. I am not sure how long I'm gonna leave them there. And then our row of tomatoes, about a third row of the banana peppers, a few watermelons that are still finishing up, and the jalapenos in the front. And I think that's it in the veggie garden still. So everything else has come and gone. Feels good. So of course I've still got lots and lots of herbs out here, and I am constantly harvesting them. So right now I've got the chamomile and the calendula that I have drying, and I will probably be drying some more herbs tomorrow, picking them in the morning. And yes, I will probably be back out here tomorrow morning to weed this. It's really weedy where the pumpkins were and where it looks like maybe some chickens or wild animals of some kind were down there at that end. So I will probably tomorrow come out and finish raking all of that, getting it all perfect, getting it weed free, and then adding wood chips. I also have a spot in the herb garden that keeps getting really, really weedy. It's really thick, and we've weeded it probably 4 times. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna rake all those wood chips back, and I'm gonna put new cardboard down and then put more wood chips on top and see if that helps to kill that grass off in that spot. But I hope that you guys enjoyed spending some time out here with me in the garden. Soon we will be on to different activities, and that will be a lot of fun. But it's really fun to look back at these videos and see the changes to the garden. Lots of changes to come in the future, and perhaps we will get one more video out here with you guys before the season is through. So yeah, thanks for sticking around with me, you guys. Thanks for coming out and watching my video today. And make sure that you guys like and subscribe to support the channel, and make sure that you ring that bell so that you don't miss out on any of our new content. Thanks a lot, guys. We will see you guys soon. Have a good time. See ya.